So I'm just going to do a quick video. This is an RG8X cable right here, and took me a little bit to figure out how to put crimp connectors on these things effectively. So here's one that I've already done. I've got some heat shrink here, the little ferrule or whatever you want to call it there. There's your center pin in there. So I've done that, and I've also got some RG58 here. The same thing. So this is what I've been using. I had bought a roll of this. One thing I do like about this is it's actual copper. So I only have two hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these steps off camera, pause it, and then play where the next step is. So I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I've taken my pocket knife. You could just as easily use a razor knife like that. I'm just used to using my knife for pretty much everything, and I've just cut off a little bit here. So I just cut down to the center wire, and then what I'm going to do is take the pin. Again, I only have two hands, and I'm just going to set it over top of the wire. So the difference there between the pin and the jacket is how much you need to cut off. So I'm going to take and trim about that much off. Oh, where's my, there it is. With some dikes. And, sorry. So now it sits on there like so, nice and flush. So I'm going to pause. Okay, so I've crimped the connector with these. These are some Amazon special crimpers that I got. I've got them adjusted to the tightest setting, and they still don't feel like they're tight enough. So you can see, just don't seem to be coming together like they should. But I've adjusted them down, and you can't pull that off. It stays on there. So, all right, the next thing I'm going to do is grab a piece of heat shrink and go ahead and slide that on the wire like so. And then I'm going to take one of these things, slide it on the wire. Now that is my new gauge. So I've not seen anybody say this. They tell you to use the connector and all kinds of different things, but what I've found is if you take that and you take it to the surface there where my thumbnail is now, is where you want to cut your wire. So I'm going to pause this again. Okay, so what I typically do is score the jacket with my knife, and then I'll bend over, and then taking whatever's left over, I'll cut it. And then this should just come right off. So you can see I've got it cut all the way to there. And then what I'll do is I will double check that this and my, crap, what did I drop? Okay, make sure that this and my heat shrink is on the cable down here. I'll then take this, I'm going to push, kind of pull these braided wires back. Again, I'm trying to do this with one hand. And then you just slide this on. Yeah, this is hard to do. Hang on, I'm going to set you down here. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that, but there was a little click there. And that's where it seats the pin into this connector here. I know my camera work is horrible. And then what I'm going to do is kind of pull this braid out, like so. And I'm just going to trim a little bit of that off. So, just a little bit of the length of the wire. Like so. Just to make it short enough that when it goes on here, I don't have a bunch sticking out. And then you push this connector up onto it. See, I didn't quite trim enough of that off. I've got some coming down there. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take my crimper on the bigger one here, double check again that my piece is there, which is what I'm actually crimping, and then I've got my piece here. So I'm going to crimp, and you can see it doesn't crimp up here. And maybe I'm doing this wrong, but I generally turn my crimpers around and hit it again where it crimps the full length. And then just slide my heat shrink up on it and heat shrink it in. So that's basically your finished connector. So more or less what I was trying to get across is using this as your guide to cut your jacket back. When you cut your first piece of cable, it really don't matter. I'm just using this as kind of a gauge. It's roughly that, and then I'll use it to trim that center pin down. This is RG8X. This is RG58. This has quite a bit more loss, apparently, than that does. And when you mess with this cable, this is copper, this is silver, tinned wire, maybe aluminum, I don't know. But the center pin on this is really thin, where the center pin on this is actually pretty thick. So I'm assuming that, you know, this has got to be a better conductor overall. So I'm going to use this on my little camper and see how it does at some point. I think I ordered 100 feet of it. I need about 30 to go from the top of my camper down to the bottom. And I've just got a few of the ferrules and everything. And I'm going to put some of these doodads on there, whatever size works. And hopefully I'll have a little bit better signal going out. So just a quick crimp thing to do that. I did get, where's it at? Got a little tool, and I had it, oh, here it is. I got this tool right here, and this tool I tried using, and basically I'm going to toss this in the trash. Every time I've tried to use it, it doesn't seem to work. I've just never made this work, but I can use that, and honestly, I get way better results using this. So if somebody knows how to use this tool better than I do, it has two blades in it, one that's deeper than the other, and I'm assuming you're supposed to be able to just loop it around the wire and it cut everything for you all at once. But that's not been my that's not been what I've seen. It doesn't seem to do that. So either way, that's your quick little video. So anybody has any questions or comments, I'm not a professional at this. I'm just telling you what I've found as I've been messing with them. The first RG58 things that I've tried, it took me a while to figure that out. So it's not really, even some of the videos that I've seen online aren't super clear about that. Also, most of this I have ordered off of Amazon. Now, I've heard that Amazon is not the place to get this stuff, but if you'll notice, I'm out of the RG8X or the RG58 connectors. These are paper thin. The actual RG8 or RG58 ferrules, or whatever these are called, are actually thicker. Again, it took me a minute to figure that out because I ordered that crimper as a kit, and I think it came with 10 connectors, 10 crimp on BNC connectors, and they're different. So I ended up having to, I just kind of threw them all into the same place, and then I figured out that this teeny tiny little hole right there does not fit an RG58. So most of these connectors, the connectors themselves are okay, but these center pins are worthless. And these don't really crimp on. So what I was having to do is crimp with the smallest one of these here in order to get that to crimp enough to do anything. And it worked. It functionally works. It doesn't look good. And I wasn't real happy with the results there. So I'm going to reorder the right connectors, and I'm probably going to either trash these or I don't know. I'll figure that out. But anyway, there you go. Have a great day.